In the following video, we'll discuss the power in mind that separates the achievers from dreamers and doers from the wishers. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It's the key to unlocking your potential, achieving your dreams, and living a life of purpose and fulfillment. But here is the catch: if you don't learn to control your mind, it'll control you. And let me tell you, there is a dangerous game to play every day. We are bombarded with thousands of thoughts. Some of these thoughts lift us up, inspire us, and push us forward. But others, well, they're like anchors holding us back, keeping us stuck in place, afraid to move, afraid to grow. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment that your mind is like a garden, a beautiful, fertile garden with endless potential. But here's the thing about the garden: they do not take care of themselves. If you neglect your garden, what happens? Weeds start to grow. They creep in slowly at first, but before you know it, they're everywhere. Checking out the beautiful flower and fruits you want to cultivate. Your thoughts are like those plants in your mental garden. The positive, empowering thoughts are the flowers and fruits. The negative, limiting thoughts, those are the weeds. Just like in a real garden, if you don't actively tend to your mental garden, pulling out those weeds and nurturing the good plants, your garden, your mind, will become overturned. But here's the good news: you are the gardener of your mind. You have the power to choose which thoughts you allow to take control and which ones you pluck out before they grow. This power, my friend, is what separates the achievers from dreamers and the doers from the wishers. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but it's not that easy. I can't control my thoughts. And to that I say, you're right. It's not easy, but it's simple, and more importantly, it's necessary. Controlling your mind isn't about never having a negative thoughts. It is impossible. We're human after all. No. Controlling your mind is about recognizing those negative thoughts when they pop up and choosing not to let them take over. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're about to give a big presentation at work. As you're walking the conference room, a thought pops into your head. What if I mess up? What if they don't like my ideas? Now, you have two choices. You can let those thoughts go. Let it feed on your thoughts and fears and insecurities until it becomes a monster that paralyzes you. Or you can acknowledge that thoughts. Thank it for its occasion, concern, and then replace them with something more empowering. I've prepared for this. Now, I want to share with you 5 strategies for taking control of your mind before it starts controlling you. They aren't quick fix or magic pills. They're tools, habits that you need to cultivate day in, day out. But I promise you, if you commit to these strategies, you will see a transformation, not just in your thinking, but in your life. Strategy number 1, develop awareness. You cannot change what you don't notice. The first step in controlling your mind is becoming aware of your thoughts. Most of us go through our daily and on autopilot, barely noticing the constant chatter in our heads. But that chatter is shaping our reality, influencing our decisions, and determining our actions. So, your first task is to start paying attention. Throughout your day, pause and check in with yourself. What are you thinking right now? How are those thoughts making you feel? Are they pushing you toward your goals or pulling you away from them? This awareness doesn't come overnight. It's a skill, and like any skill, it takes a practice. Start small. Set reminders on your phone to check in with your thoughts 3 times a day. As you get better at it, increase the frequency. Eventually, this awareness will become second nature. And here's a little secret. The simple act of observing your thoughts often changes them. It's like shining a light into a dark room. Suddenly, those scary shadows do not look so frightening anymore. Strategy number 2, observe your thoughts. Once you're aware of your thoughts, the next step is to challenge them. Don't just accept every thought that pops into your head as truth. Question it, examine it. Is this based on the fact or fear? Is it helping you or holding you back? Let's say you have a thought like, I'm not good enough for that promotion. Instead of accepting the thought, challenge it. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have for this thought? What evidence do I have against it? Is the thought helping me achieve my goal? Often, you will find that your most limiting thoughts are based on old beliefs, past experiences, or unfulfilled fears. By challenging these thoughts, you strip them of their power. You create space for new, more empowering thoughts to take root. Remember, your thoughts are not facts. The stories you tell yourself, and if you don't like the story, you have the power to change. Strategy number 3, reframe negative thoughts. Now that you are aware of your thoughts and you're challenging the negative ones, it's time to learn the art of reframing. Reframing is like being a translator from your own mind. You take a negative thought and translate it into a more positive, empowering one. For example, let's say you make a mistake at work. Your initial thought might be, I'm such an idiot. I cannot do anything right. That's pretty harsh thought, isn't it? But what if you reframe it? What if instead you thought, I made a mistake? That's how I learn and improve. Next time, I'll do it better. See the difference? Both thoughts acknowledge the mistake, but one leaves you feeling defeated while the others motivate you to grow. Reframing isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding more constructive way to view your experience. It's about focusing on solutions instead of problem, and growth instead of failure. And here is the beautiful thing about reframing. The more you practice it, the more automatic it becomes. Eventually, your mind starts doing it on its own, naturally gravitating towards more positive, empowering thought. Strategy number 4, feed your mind. Good stuff. You've heard saying, you are what you eat, right? Well, the same principle applies to your mind. Your thoughts are shaped by what you feed your mind. If you constantly consume negative news, pessimistic conversations, or mindless environments, guess what thought you're going to have? On the other hand, if you fill your mind with inspiring books, uplifting conversation, or meaningful content, your thoughts will reflect your positive and purpose. Now, I'm not saying you should stuck your head in the sand and ignore the world's problem, but be mindful of what you're consuming. For every negative news articles you read, balance it with something positive. For every hour of mindless TV you watch, spend an hour reading a book that challenges and inspires you. And here is a powerful step. Start the day by feeding your mind something good. Read a few pages of an inspiring book. Listen to a motivational podcast, or simply spend a few minutes visualizing your goals. This sets tone for your entire day, priming your mind for positive, productive thoughts. Let's delve into practice number 5, gratitude. Seeing gratitude as a secret weapon for gaining control over your mind. When you immerse yourself in a thankful feeling of negativity dissipates. A shift in your focus to enumerating things you're thankful can literally rewire your brain, promoting to notice more positive elements in your life. I understand there might be some of you contemplating, but what if I don't have anything to be grateful for? To that, I urge to take a closer look. There's always something to be grateful for. Even during your darkest hour, perhaps this is the air you're breathing, the fact that you woke up this morning. Or maybe it was the flash of a smile from a stranger on the street. Starting small, jot down 3 things you're grateful for each day. They do not have to be great gesture. In fact, a smaller everyday blessing can sometimes have a greater impact. You will find as you continue to make this a habit, you'll start noticing things to be grateful for throughout your day with ease. Here is the astounding part. The more you exercise gratitude, the more you uncover to be grateful for. It's like turning your mind toward a frequency of positivity and abundance. Implementing these 5 strategies, developing awareness, challenging your thought, reframing negative thoughts, nourishing your mind with positive inputs, and practicing gratitude, you're equipped with some powerful tools. Yet remember, these are only tools. You alone cannot do the work for you. You have to consistently use this each day. It won't always be easy. Some days might feel like you're trying to slow down a runaway train, speeding on, track out negativity and self-doubt. However, keep in mind, just like a gym workout, each session makes you stronger and builds you endurance. Controlling your mind works in much the same way. With each exercise, you are strengthening your mental muscles. The gains, like exercising, extend beyond the tangible. While it enhances positivity and emotional well-being, it also helps you control. It's all about modeling your reality. It guides your interpretation of events, dictates your response to challenges, and ultimately set in motion the action you take. Consider 2 individuals can face an exact same situation, but their experience can differ vastly based on their perception of it. A setback can be seen as neither a crushing defeat or a valuable lesson. A challenge can be regarded as insurmountable obstacle or an exciting opportunity. The difference lies in how you choose to perceive it. Lastly, I want to discuss an important aspect. Controlling your mind doesn't equate to suppressing your emotion or painting a facade of perfection, such as assumption is neither realistic nor healthy. As humans, we're designed to experience an assortment of emotions, sadness, anger, and fear included. You don't aim to ease feeling negative thoughts, emotion. Rather, the emphasis is not letting those emotions govern you. Controlling your mind is fundamentally about taking responsibility for your thought and consequently your life. Recognizing that while you may not have absolute control over circumstances, you always have the power to determine your responses. This realization is an incredibly empowering moment that allows you to unlock a level of freedom and potential most people never experience. There is a secret understood by the most successful individual globally. Your thoughts shape your reality, not in mystical, abstract sense, but in a very real, practical way. Your thought ignites a chain reaction. They govern your feeling, which in turn influences your action, culminating in your results. The initiation point is your mind and the end power is your reality. Let's break it down. Say you have the thoughts, I'm not good enough. The thought creates feeling of insecurity and self-doubt. This feeling might cause you to hesitate, to play it safe, and to avoid taking risks and putting yourself out there. And those actions or lack of actions lead to results that reinforce your original thoughts. You then get the promotion, you then start that business, you then ask the person out on the dates. And you think, you see, I was right. I'm not good enough, but what if you change the initial thoughts? What if instead you thought I'm capable of growth and improvement? That thought might create a feeling of confidence and curiosity. These feelings might lead you to take action, to learn new skills, to volunteer for a challenging project, and to step outside your comfort zone. And those actions would likely lead to results to prove your capability, reinforcing your new empowering thought. This is why controlling your mind is so crucial. Because when you control your thought, you're not just changing what happens in your head. You're changing what happens in your life now. I know some of you might be thinking, but what about positive thinking? Is not that the same as controlling your mind? And the answer is not quite. Positive thinking is a good start, but controlling your mind goes much deeper. It's not just about replacing negative thoughts with negative ones. It's about developing a level of mental discipline that allows you to choose your thought deliberately, to direct your focus with intention, and to shape your mindset purposefully. It is the difference between being a passenger in your own mind and being a driver. A passenger might try to enjoy the view and hope for the best, but the driver chooses the destination, plans or mood or negative a journey. And let me tell you, being the driver of your own mind is the same game changer. It is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary and achievers from the dreamers.